This stuff really is not that difficult. It's like hidden in plain sight. It's just that if you don't know something, you will not have the impetus to go read about it or research because you don't know it. Information overload. I think that's another reason why people don't invest. If you do a Google search, how to invest, so how do you even know where to start? You don't need a lot of money. So a lot of people don't invest because they think, what is 100 rand? What is 200 rand? They feel like I need to wait until maybe I'm investing 5,000 or 10,000. Investing in stocks stuck with me because it doesn't require a lot of work. It's the one true investing style that is passive. It's very important to understand what you are investing for. There is no wrong way to invest, in my opinion. You just have to.
Welcome to another edition of Mindset Profits. We are back talking about investment because the worst mistake for many people when it comes to investment is not even losing money, not even investing with the wrong platform. It's because it's just that you've never started. You haven't started. It's been 10, 20 years of earning income. Investment has never been a part of that equation. Nozi is back again to the podcast, our expert. The last time I had Nozi on, I had comments on the video saying, wow, coach, you found the best.
People do tend to exaggerate sometimes.
They say you are the best when it comes to talking investment. You're an incredible teacher. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing?
How have things been?
Things have been okay. I took a break a little from posting, especially videos on my channel. But yeah, next month I'm back.
We'll link your channel to
Yeah.
this one, to this episode.
Yes.
If people go and check, they'll notice it's been 3 months.
Yeah.
4 months.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a minute.
So you're promising.
Yes. I'm not even promising people, I'm promising myself. I have to come back. Yes.
If people ask why,
Major life changes. Life happened.
we say life happened
Yes,
along the way. But life has stopped happening, you're back.
I'm back. Yes.
No, glad to have you back. Don't worry, I understand you completely.
Yeah.
Life has happened to me too.
Yes.
And when life does happen, hey, it gets real, eh?
It does.
But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about your favorite topic.
Investing. Well, money.
Money and investing.
Yeah.
Kari, money is your favorite.
Money, well, there's no investing without money. But I like the subject of money. It's something that I can talk about in my sleep, I think. I think it's because I've been burned before, you know. So I grew a passion for it. They always say the most passionate people are people that have overcome something. Like the most passionate person about not smoking is someone who smoked before. Right? Because because then they have this experience and they become so, pedantic about it. So it's the same with me. I had a very terrible experience with money when I started working. But because I overcame that, then I became very passionate about teaching people on how to manage money properly.
All right, so what was that encounter? Now I'm curious. I don't think you told me last time.
Really?
The bad experience.
No, I mean, I graduated from university and I was clueless about money. And I think it's an experience of many people.
It is.
It's almost like you are expected to know this automatically. It just does not happen. So I went through school. I mean, I didn't study anything to do with finances or anything. I did chemistry. I majored in chemistry. I did biochemistry. So the first time I experienced tax was when I got my payslip. But it still didn't know what are these deductions. I had no idea.
It felt unfair.
Yeah, your cost to company and what you get is not the same.
Yeah.
But I never understood any of it, the tax or the provident fund deductions. What is a provident fund? How does it work? Where is this money going every month that's being deducted? Things that we might take for granted now. oh well, maybe not now, but I now know what it means. But then in my mind, I'm thinking, how many other people don't know this stuff? And if someone who is coming from university doesn't know that stuff, what about somebody who's never been to university? What do they know? You understand? So that's where my everything started. So I went on a journey of self-education. So this stuff really is not that difficult. It's like hidden in plain sight. It's just that if you don't know something, you will not have the impetus to go read about it or research because you don't know it. I mean, information about provident funds is there. Information about tax is there. But if you don't even know what you don't know, how do you
Even start
how do you
searching.
even start searching? Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Where does the teaching talent, because I think the compliment for many people who call you the best is you are an amazing teacher. You simplify stuff. Where does that come from?
Maybe it's just a gift I have. Because even in university, I remember my professor was saying, please stay, please don't go to corporate. Yeah, no, he was really upset. I didn't even attend my graduation because I didn't want to upset him, because he begged me. He says, you know what, you'll make such an incredible lecturer. Because I was a tutor for younger students and everything.
Wow.
So it kind of is something that has
So
followed me.
you've come a long way with this. The teaching.
The teaching, I think it's innate. Yeah, it's something that's innate in me. Perhaps I didn't recognize it earlier on, but other people would start saying, you know what, maybe you should teach. Like my professor would say, please stay and be a lecturer. And then when I started posting content about personal finance on my social media, someone was like, why don't you just do like classes, like online classes, because we think you are a good teacher. So it's something that people have recognized in me, and I've accepted. I've accepted it. Yeah.
Well, it does explain your growth, and I will say I've checked your videos, and you are good. So it's nice to have you back.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having
I
me
look
back.
forward to more nuggets. We
Yeah.
have, and I think it used to be a South African community, but now it's much, much bigger. It's now continental, and I know people will be saying, let Nozi teach, let Nozi cook. Nozi, why are we afraid so much to invest? Why have we not even started?
Okay, because it's a lack of knowledge. First of all, it's a lack of knowledge. And also there's a lot of gatekeeping in that investment space, because there's some people who make money for doing it for you, right? So there are people who make money by investing on behalf of other people. So they would not make as much money if people were clued up and able to do it themselves. So they kind of play their cards very close to the chest. So the knowledge is there, but the people in the industry don't talk as freely about it because they want to make money. Why would I, as a investment professional that manages people's money, why would I give that information out for free? Because that's how I make a living. So they protect that information deliberately. And then another thing is that in the past, it was difficult to invest. It is not like people didn't want to invest. It was hard. Before the digital age, you would need to have a lot of money and you'd need to talk to a person. These people are called brokers. You would need to talk to an actual broker, and accessing them would be a challenge. How does a person in a remote place access somebody who works maybe in Joburg or Cape Town, things like that?
So that was the bottleneck.
Yeah, so there are a lot of bottlenecks, but for today, I think it's a lack of knowledge and maybe even fear, okay? Because when there's truth, there's also lies to accompany as well. So what I'm saying is there are legitimate investments, but at the same time, there's people who would want to scam people by pretending to invest or be investors, etc. So that's another issue as well. Yeah,
Okay.
lack of knowledge.
What got you started with investing? Because you could have taken money from your salary in any direction.
Yeah.
What made investment be the thing that you choose?
It was a lot of things. So it wasn't just one thing. It was a series of fortunate events.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's for me, I think curiosity. I'm a very curious person. I'd like to think. I like knowing things. General knowledge. We can play general knowledge. I love knowing stuff, facts,
Yeah.
even useless things. Yeah, that's how I am. I like knowing stuff. So that helped because I heard people talking about investing, then I got curious, but I didn't act on it immediately. So someone's like, yeah, Nosy, having a provident fund is not enough. You should have investments. And then that started something in my brain, but I didn't act on it immediately. Then later on, I asked for a raise from my boss. And I said to him, I don't earn enough money. He's like, you do earn enough money. You just, you are just, and I was so mad at him. And then he explained to me, he's like, no, you're supposed to budget and invest. So this is the second time I'm hearing this word invest. And then another time, so you see, then another time I think I was watching YouTube or something. Then I came across Dave Ramsey, this American dude, speaking about
I love him, by the
So,
way.
yeah, no. If you need tough love, you must watch
He's
Dave
the
Ramsey.
king of
He's the
tough
king
love.
of tough love when it comes to money. So it was a series of things. Then I started reading. So the first book I read about personal finance, still my favorite book even now of all time, is The Millionaire Next Door. So I read that book and it changed my mind completely. Like it just excited me to the possibility of I can actually do this, because the book, I'll just summarize, just made me realize that you don't need a lot of money. So a lot of people don't invest because they think, what is 100 Rand? What is 200 Rand? They feel like I need to wait until maybe I'm investing 5,000 or 10,000. So that book changed all of that for me. And it made me realize that every penny counts. And people who become millionaires, in that book, they surveyed thousands and thousands of people. Most millionaires were normal people. That's why it's called Millionaire Next Door. It's the guy next door. So it's not the ones that we're seeing on Hollywood. It's not the ones we're seeing on Instagram splashed all over, social media. It's genuinely people that you wouldn't suspect. You bump into him in the mall. He's a millionaire and you wouldn't know because of how they live. They live simple lifestyles and they just invest quietly, And so I was like, so this is possible, So then I actually made it a mission of mine to test the theory, to say, as ordinary as I am, I can become a millionaire through doing these simple things, like investing, the difference between my expenses and my income.
So you start by controlling the expenses so that there's something left at least,
Yes.
and then you can invest
Yes.
that. Why did you ever consider other types of investments?
Besides
Stocks, bonds. Did you ever think about business, property? Because you have a love affair that's strong with stocks and
yes,
bonds and
there's a reason.
ETFs and rates and.
There is a reason. Like I said, I am curious. I did try many things. I've put my car in Uber before. I've done.
Oh, you tried that?
I did. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You're speaking in past tense.
Past tense. I tried multi-level marketing. Yes.
Okay.
I tried that.
Past tense again.
Past tense, right? I have tried. I've tried. My sister knows how to cook. We started a business with my sister at some point. This was when she was still in school and stuff like that. Past tense again. So this, for me, investing in stocks stuck with me because it doesn't require a lot of work. It's the one true investing style that is passive. So passive means, well, what the word says. It's lazy. It's a lazy way of investing. We work so hard in so many other
it's
things.
the laziest path to
It's
becoming a millionaire.
Guys, why would you want to struggle to get rich? No, there are many paths to choose, right?
Yeah.
There are many paths. Some people love hard work and whatever. I think, lazy people are very sometimes efficient because they always find the quickest and easiest way to do something because they don't want to sweat it.
Yeah.
So literally for me, the stock market is that for me. I don't have to sweat it. I don't have to struggle.
Someone else has that headache.
Someone has that headache. So that's why it sticks for me. Not to say it's the only way to invest, but that's where the passion comes from. The ease and also how affordable it is. So even high school students can do this. So they don't even have to have like a huge salary or huge allowance. Just that small 50 rand they can start. So for me,
do you ever get people, your followers from other countries, asking what options are there for them?
Yes. You know, it's amazing. Like I said, I like learning stupid things. just for the sake, not stupid things, but knowledge, right? So I get people from Kenya asking me to invest. I'm like, guys, you've got a Kenyan stock exchange. You have it. I know you do. And then for them, it's
There's
this
a lot
revelation.
of followers from Kenya as well here.
And then they get this amazement. I'm like, yeah. And then I even watch YouTube videos of Kenyan personal finance content creators. I'm like, what?
And they do share.
Yeah, and I'm like, watch this person, you know, she will guide you or he will guide you. So I do get that, where people don't know what they have in their own country. And you know, the most surprising thing for me, I get people living in the UK saying, how do I invest? I'm like, you are in the middle, you are in a developed country. You have no idea how accessible investing is to you. Like, as in, I wish I lived there.
It's
you
like
know?
a quick Google search will give you 20 options.
Yeah, people have
but
no
don't you
idea.
think it's because they would have connected with you in your video and with your
Perhaps.
content, and they are afraid that if I do a Google search, some clever person did SEO hacks and put their website to rank up, and it's not safe.
You know what you're saying is right. Information overload. I think that's another reason why people don't invest. If you do a Google search, how to invest, so how do you even know where to start? You know, it's almost like someone was saying, you know, if you wanted to buy jam, you know, and then you go into a store with thousands of different types of jams, you'll walk out of there with nothing. It's the same, yeah, because like it's just too much. Sometimes you just want it's just a few gems, you know. You walk in and maybe there's just a five varieties.
5 and I like this one
You know
better.
what I mean? But today, because of so information is everywhere, you know, we are overloaded with information, and so for people, it also brings a discomfort to say, where do I start? There's so many links. Which one do I click? So I suppose when they see a human, they say, let me talk to the human. Maybe the human will guide me.
Do you think it also contributes to the fact that you share your portfolio public sometimes?
Maybe, yes. Maybe the issue of trust. So what you're saying is my sharing of my portfolio makes it more real because it's my money that I'm investing.
It is real. And also, I might look, let's say I'm in another country. Let's say I'm in Zambia, for example. I see you, I connect with you, and I see your portfolio and the returns. And I think if I invest in Zambia, maybe the returns won't be
the
as much.
same.
There must be something about where you are. I want to put money where you are.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. Look, our countries are not the same in terms of, you know, GDP and
inflation,
economic growth, inflation, things like that. So there is some truth to say, okay, maybe a South African stock market would be better performing. Oh, let me be careful. Might be better performing with maybe a smaller countries, you know, stock market. But it's not always the case. Sometimes the small guys actually do better than the bigger guys. It depends on a lot of things. But because investing is global, you don't have to invest in South Africa. You can invest globally in your country. You don't have to now somehow put your money in South African investments, whatever. You can do it from your country.
In global stock exchange.
Yes. Or even sometimes some countries, it's just that people are not aware, or the marketing, you know, it's not that great. But they are probably, just like here in South Africa, you can use a local platform to invest globally. It's the same for probably Kenyans and Zambians.
It
Probably.
probably
Yeah.
is. I'll visit and check what platforms are there. I'm curious to put that information out as
Yeah.
well. But when you make decisions within the pool of investments that you make, how do you think through choosing, do I go for government bonds or invest in stocks? What are your considerations?
So my considerations are what I'm investing for. Like, what is this money earmarked for? So having goals is important. So for me, primarily I invest for my retirement, or not even retirement, financial independence, where I want to be work optional at some point and the investments will take care of my lifestyle type of thing. So that's very important because it speaks to timelines. Okay, so investing is not going to change my life overnight. This is going to be a slow process to get to where I want to get to eventually. So timing, how long you're going to invest is very important. Now, investments, the different investments you mentioned, perform differently based on the time. So the highest performing asset class that's got data and it's been studied, for several decades, it's stocks. So if you're going to put your money away for a very long time, the best place to put it would be in stocks. Because stocks have shown to outperform over long periods of time compared to your bonds or your cash and other things.
Okay. There's research about that.
There's research about that, yes.
Okay.
Okay. Then when it comes to bonds, for me, bonds are okay if you want, let's say I want my money in the next 3 to 5 years. I just wanted to earn some interest. It's not money that I'm looking to retire on or looking to build my wealth on. It can be part of my wealth building strategy, but not the primary. That's not where most of my money will go, right? So it's very important to understand what you are investing for. This question that you're asking is very key because a lot of people love getting interest or dividends to earn something. And what they don't realize is that sometimes if you focus too much on that, you can sacrifice growth, right? So, and I showed this to one person who was consulting with me. They're saying they want to invest for the next 30 years and they want to put their money in a very high dividend paying stock or whatever. And then I had to show them why that's not a good idea, right? So when it comes to dividends are paid out from a company's profits. So a company sells whatever, they go out and make money, whatever. That money that they make, the profit that they make, they have got a choice to either pay the profit to investors in the form of a dividend or take that money and reinvest it into the business to do R&D, make the business better, offer better products, expand into the market, etc. So if a company is spending most of their money paying it to investors, they've got little left to grow and expand the company. So in return, that means that business is not going to do well. That's going to have a ripple effect on the share performance. So your shares, and another thing is
Over time.
So your share performance is linked to the business performance. These two are married together. If my business is struggling, there is no way that the share is going to hit the stars. It's just not going to happen.
Okay. So I see someone choosing that option still for the sake of cash flow and liquidity. Say, look, every year I need to be getting something. What do you ever think about percentage balance to say you can have money you invest in stocks that just grow and you don't touch, but a certain percentage that gives you the cash flow every now and then through the dividends?
Absolutely. So for cash flow purposes, yes, you can do the dividends, you can do the bonds for cash flow. But you should be careful that you don't sacrifice growth. What are you going to do with the cash? So the question is, what are you going to do with that money, right? If it's just for the sake of it, you need to think about it. But anyway, there is no wrong way to invest, in my opinion. You just have to align with the outcomes that you're trying to achieve.
Okay. Does it help to talk to a financial advisor?
Yes, it does help, but you should be equipped. So don't be passive in the whole. So don't give
Don't
over.
give your money and say, do whatever.
Yeah, and say you're the expert.
Make a
Don't-
plan.
Don't do that. I mean, even with anything, even if you're going to a doctor, don't say, he's the expert, and then you take a more backseat approach, being passive. You need to also be engaged. If you're treating something, you ask questions so that you also help yourself to get better or whatever it is. It's the same with investing. You cannot say, he's the expert, then you just leave things. You don't ask questions. The person who cares about your money the most is you. Other people are there to assist you to achieve your goals, but they don't stay awake at night saying, oh, Nozi's portfolio, I wonder. They don't do that. It's you that does that. So you must equip yourself. Don't be afraid to ask questions and move. If you don't like someone's attitude, if you feel like they belittle you or they don't answer you properly, they use jargon that you don't understand, search until you find someone that you can resonate with, because it's important.
Okay. If you were to go back, I'll challenge you to go back to a younger version of you coming out of varsity,
Yes.
about to get the first job, first income, what advice would you have for a younger you, and how would you handle money differently?
Definitely, a younger me, I would advise them to read. So that's the cheat code for getting smarter. Yeah, unfortunately, or rather fortunately, you just have to stay curious, read credible sources, and ask questions. Ask those who've gone before you. Ask your older colleagues if you're not sure of what's going on. Sit down with your HR and say, you know what, I really don't understand this payslip. Could you help me to explain what is a provident fund? Where does the money go? Because most companies have HR. If you don't have HR, you most likely have. So our company has got a financial advisor. I didn't even know that. I was told much later, like, oh, so, we are not curious enough. We just go through life with blinkers on. So be more curious, ask questions. There's nothing like a stupid question. Or the stupid one is the one that's unasked, right? So, and then also budgeting is important for a young person.
So you're telling the younger
me,
learn, budget, and be curious.
Be curious.
Don't get pay slips and see line items you don't understand and keep quiet.
And also move at your own pace. There's a lot of pressure on young people. When you start working, now people expect you to buy a car. Now people expect you to have this and that and that. Life is not a race, So move at your own pace. We don't earn the same. We don't have the same family responsibilities, some of us. So do things at your own time. Be comfortable in your own skin. Peer pressure is real. I thought peer pressure finished in primary school or whatever, high school. But it's there even in adulthood. It doesn't go away. So you should learn to just not care what people think or say about you. Okay, so you're not driving the latest and whatever. So what? So what? Be comfortable enough to say, so what?
And be more clear about what your goals are.
Exactly.
Okay. I love your advice to younger version. How would you handle money differently, though?
Now, the way I handle money differently is I cannot function without my budget. I can't. So it has become part of me. I budget for the entire year. I do update my budget. So January up to December, like I write in my spreadsheet. I know what my income is. I know what my fixed costs are. So those are in there. And I make space for things that need to be done, like savings, investments. It's all in there. So that at the end of the month, I'm not wondering what should be done. It's there, written in black and white. I just execute.
So for you, the money journey is never guesswork. You already plan it out.
I hate guesswork. It makes me feel uneasy because you get used to it. So once you develop a habit, we are creatures of habit as human beings. Once you develop a habit, it becomes part of you and you become uneasy when you don't do it. So I developed the habit of budgeting, knowing exactly where my money is going, etc. So that at the end of the month, I'm just executing. Without that, I'm lost. I don't even know where to start. So that's what
You said you do 1 year.
I budget for the whole year. So I have a
then
January,
what happens?
February, March, April, May.
Oh, you do a budget for the whole year broken down
In
per
months.
month. Are you doing this on Excel or something?
On Excel, yes. But it's not rigid. It's not a fixed thing. It's flexible because I mean some months are different than others. But generally, there's
Sometimes
that.
you get new money that you are not planning
Yes.
for, like
Yes.
YouTube pays you or something.
Yeah, something. Yeah, but there's a structure. So there is like that structure to guide me to say, okay, this in general is how things are going to go. It doesn't always go like that, but yeah, close enough. So that's
Okay.
how I function. Yeah.
I like the budgeting part. When it comes to saving, were you saving when you came out when you got your first job? Or that started when you started investing?
Was I even saving? I don't even remember.
You don't
I think
remember
I'd
what you're
save
doing.
and take the money out again. Yeah.
So
Save it and use it again.
what changed?
So what changed is now I hate being on zero. I can't believe that I was ever comfortable with not having any money in my account at any point, where you're just kind of coasting from month to month, and sometimes you're on zero. By payday, there's nothing. I just can't do that anymore. Like, I don't even know how I survived. I don't even know how I survived doing that, to be honest. I was living on the edge.
You do realize it's normal for many people.
I
Even
know.
many people that are going to watch.
I know. I
That's
know.
like normal reality.
Yeah, I
You
know.
use 2 zeros every now and then.
I know. So that's why when I talk, I've been there, you know. And when people talk to me and they're like, "Oh, please don't judge me," I'm like, I'm the last person to judge you because I probably did worse things than you know. So yeah, I would be on zero for like once now it's the 14th. I would have been living on a prayer until the end of the month, literally. Yeah.
But still, what changed? What was that switch? Because you changing to hate having zeros is one thing. What made you commit to a different way of doing life and money?
Okay, so I think maybe also another thing that is my personality as well, because I mean I've got a sister, and she said to me, "You make everything look so easy." Because I'm also trying to get her to invest and whatever. And she says to me, you make things seem easy. And then I started, looking at it and saying, okay, maybe some people genuinely struggle with this, but I don't. You know what I mean? I'm very disciplined. I go to the gym 5 days a week.
Okay.
I try to eat healthy most of the time. I don't do fizzy drinks. So I think my personality in general leans towards discipline in general.
Okay.
So it wasn't hard for me to make that switch. Once I had the information, once that light bulb switched on, then it was easy. Like, oh, okay, this is what we do. So then I now realize that not everyone is like this, because to me, I'm like, yeah, but it's easy. You just,
stop.
Just stop, So I think it's a personality thing, but definitely it can be developed. There's nothing. Human beings are very adaptable. That's what makes us different from animals. We can change anything about ourselves at any point. We are not fixed. I once said on my Facebook post, a cow will be a cow. 5 years from now, he will still be eating grass. He will still be the same way. He's still satisfied with drinking water and eating grass. But as a human being, 5 years from now, you can be a different person. Because that's how we are. We're very adaptable. So once you get into something, and it takes a couple of, I don't know, they said it takes 21 days to form a new habit or something like that.
It used to be.
Used to be.
Some studies have stretched that to
Stretched it,
66.
but whatever it is, it takes some finite amount of time to change, and that's it. So I would say with the savings thing, it starts with little amounts. Okay, and then it's like building muscle. if you can save 50 Rand, next time it's easier. Then you can save 100 Rand. Then next time it's even easier, you save 500 Rand. But you start somewhere.
Okay. And even the going back for your savings part, what stopped was the same time. When you decided to be disciplined, you stopped going back for the savings.
I think it so what actually changed was not my behavior immediate. It was my thoughts, how I thought about money. So that's what changed first. So realizing that the way I'm currently carrying on it's not going to end well for me. And there are certain things that I want to achieve in my life, and it's not going to be possible. So I kind of almost scared myself into being disciplined. So a lot of thinking and a lot of realizing to say, continuing this way, I'm not going to end up where I want to be. So that, I think I was more afraid of not, because I'm a very competitive person as well.
Okay.
So I thought to myself, no, guys, angeke ngihlule yilento. Like this cannot defeat me. I refused. So then I challenged myself and said, let me try it for 1 month and then 2 months, and then it became.
So when you share your portfolios online, I haven't seen you do this. So I'm just curious, do you share investment goals?
Yeah, I do. So, I mean, I don't have a lot of investment goals. So my goal for me is financial independence. My goal for my daughter, who I also invest for, I just need to put her through school. Simple.
So you've started investing at 2 for her?
I started investing for her when she was a couple of months old.
What were you doing?
I just bought ETFs for her.
And you do that every month?
Nah, I just put a lump sum there and let it.
Okay.
Yeah. And left it like that. I mean, in terms of time, she's got more time than me. So in terms of priority, I need to prioritize myself. Which brings us to another point. Parents.
Yeah.
I know a lot of parents are watching this.
Yeah.
A lot of parents will contact me and say, no, Zimina, my life is over. I've made my mistakes. Now I want to make things right for my kids. So I won't invest for myself. I'll invest for my children. I'm like, that's the worst thing you can do. Your kids have time. You don't. So in terms of priority, you as a parent must make sure your investments are in order. Your little one, uzoba right. She'll be fine, he'll be fine. But you don't have enough, that luxury.
Does it not depend on how old the kids are?
It does. So what I mean is, in terms of, let's say, I didn't invest a lump sum for my child, let's say, and I was investing every month for her, I would put less money in her account compared to my investments because my timeline is shorter than hers. So let's say if I was investing 4,000, I'd put 3,000 for myself and $1,000 for her.
Yeah. I think that's the advice that financial advisors generally give as well.
Yes.
That the younger the child, the smaller the contribution that you need to put.
Because she's got runway. He or she has got a lot of runway and you don't.
I think the beautiful thing you're doing is investing for your daughter when she's that young.
Yes.
And it's a lesson for parents as well. Across the continent, across the world even, because that's something that never happens. And that's why I believe the cycle of poverty is hard to end.
True. So our kids, I think our generation is going to do right by their kids. I've spoken to a lot of people. They are investing for their children. They're opening accounts for their children. It's amazing. I think our kids will benefit from this. But more importantly, educating them is also important as well. You'll hear someone saying, I've got kids and I want you to teach them about investing. And I'm like, how old are they? 21. I'm like, that's an adult. You should have started this thing like when they were still very young. I mean, it's not to say it's too late, but those are adults. A 21-year-old is an adult. Do you know what I mean? So the financial education should start as soon as they're able to understand little things. kids are smart. They can catch on.
Okay. What can we look forward to when it comes to you?
When it comes to me,
Because you promised that you're coming back.
yes. So
We've
people can
gone
look.
past life, so now we
Yeah.
are fully nosy.
Yes. So basically, one gift that I have is anticipating questions that people have. So I know already what people want to know, what people want to hear about, and so that's what I'll be doing. Focusing on answering those questions that people have around income, dividends, why starting small matters, and why it feels very slow in the beginning. In the beginning, a lot of people get discouraged with investing, and they always come back to me and say, Nosy, I think I must just move my money to the bank because I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing. And then I also want to talk about the excitement that gets generated when the market is doing well. I always feel bad for people who start investing when the market is doing well. They never learn anything until the crash, right? That's when you learn. So things like that. So basically, simple. I'm keeping it simple still. And that's what people can look forward to. And of course, portfolio updates as well.
Oh, those are coming again.
Those are coming again. Yes.
Thank you for coming, eh?
Thank you so much. Is it time? Wow.
Was it too fast?
It flies.
Pop those investment questions because we will link her channel to this. If you want to follow her, she does a whole lot more of this along with portfolio updates. And as you promise, you will hook up anyone in any country with something.
I'll try.
All right, see you back, Nosy. See you again in another episode. Thank you for being there still this time. Thank you.